This meeting of the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners is called to order. Please rise and join us this morning for the invocation by Stacy Swager from Canyon City Pregnancy Center, to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, Father God. We just thank you for each person on this board. Thank you for their willingness to serve our county so well. I ask that this place be a place of peace this morning, that much be accomplished here, that people feel heard, and that things are just accomplished for your glory, for the better of each citizen in our county. We bring you all the praise and the glory, Lord, in your holy, precious name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Here.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
County Attorney Jackson.
Present.
County Manager Carochi.
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Victoria.
Present.
Approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, we have a change to our agenda this morning. It is an addition under new business. We are going to insert an item 2 and renumber everything from 2 forward. That item 2 will be service recognition resolution for John Rankin.
Okay.
Was that a motion?
That was.
I second it.
Was that a motion?
I move. I don't think I did.
Yeah, I don't think she did. Yeah,
It is
I
now.
do make that motion.
with that amendment,
With
I
that
second that.
Thank you.
Picky.
Yeah, I know, right?
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Just making note that this is mostly just for the approval of the bills. We're not scheduling any public hearings in the consent agenda this morning. Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to our administrative and informational portion of the meeting. We will begin this morning with our sales and use tax report from Mr. Sean Sutton, our Budget and Finance Officer. Mr. Sutton.
Morning, everybody. How are we?
Good morning.
So, retail sales tax and auto use sales tax collections. May totaled $887,734, which is $66,973 more than 2022. Year-to-date, we're at $3,697,126, which is $276,566 ahead of 2022. And then we're $405,461 ahead of our 2023 budget. The auto use sales tax collection, this is for June, totaled $168,397, which was $31,893 more than 2022. Year-to-date, we've collected $758,700, which is $31,191 ahead of 2022. And then against budget, we're $171,200 ahead. The lodging report, don't know if it was updated this month, but we had a 0 in there for May, which is a little bit unusual if you look previous years, but it was only an $815 difference from 2022. Overall, we're at $63,791, and then we have ahead of 2022 by $14,292. We will have a quarterly update next month, so looking forward to that. Sheriff retail sales tax collection, it totaled $591,822. That was $44,648 ahead of 2022. Year to date, we're at $2,464,744, which is $184,369 ahead of 2022. And then versus budget, we are $89,744 ahead. Auto use sales tax for sheriff totaled $112,265. It's $21,262 ahead of 2022. Year-to-date, we've collected $505,799, which is $3,604 less than 2022. However, to budget, we are $105,799 ahead. So overall, good numbers for the reporting of May and June. Looked like clerk and recorder were pretty busy last month, so that was a good makeup month for that. Overall, we'll continue to monitor these and make any changes as necessary.
Okay,
Questions?
thank you, sir. Any questions, comments?
No, thank you.
Just,
No,
yeah,
just-
thank you.
yeah. Thanks for staying on top of it and the job you do,
You bet.
and
Thank
your
you.
staff as well. We know how hard they all work.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next on our agenda is the county clerk's monthly report. Clerk Grantham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for June of this year were $1,667,395.87. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $932,953.09, which is 56% of the total fees and $196,477.64 more from last June. Year-to-date, our office is up $34,125.89.
Okay,
And that's exactly how it happens every June and July for years. People are outside, they're buying vehicles, the SMM is getting busy, they're replacing vehicles, selling vehicles, everything falls in line in the summer, so.
okay.
I think this is our first month for year-to-date to be up over last year, correct?
It is.
All right, we like to see that.
Which is kind of what we
Find those.
see monthly on our overall sales tax. We had the same discussion on one of our other funds yesterday, that summer months are key for us, obviously. Okay,
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the county clerk's monthly report for the month of June 2023.
Second.
has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now move on to our semi-annual public trustee semi-annual quarterly report. Treasurer Elliott,
Good morning.
good morning.
Good morning.
So we're starting with the public trustee report. Foreclosures initiated were 16, which was the same as the first quarter. Releases of deeds of trust, 358. We did 390 the first quarter. Those have dropped off a bit. We've seen a lot of the foreclosures be withdrawn, so they're either selling them, working with the mortgage companies. We never hear really why they're withdrawing them, so that's good news, regardless if they're taking care of them, so. And last year, we ended it at 55, so we're 32 for the year so far, so
Okay,
kind of on target.
Yeah, not a terrible number. We would like to see a zero there, but I know we talk about this pretty much every time you come, but I remember the days that we were up over 300
Right.
in a year, and that's not good news for our residents,
No.
so.
Yeah, it's a good thing they're working some of those out.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
okay.
Mr. Chair, I move we accept the semi-annual public trustees
Second.
report.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded several times.
Okay.
Yes. Get it
Roll
on
call.
record.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And for the treasurers,
All right, semi-annual report, June's always a good report to look at because it looks really, really good. Some of it obviously reflects from Sean's reports, but we're up approximately 8 million from last year at the same time.
How much?
8 million,
8 million?
bottom
Okay.
line. Yep.
No questions from me.
No? All right, Mr. Chair, I move to accept the semi-annual public trustee quarterly, we're not on trustee, we're on
Treasurer.
treasurer's report, sorry. That one.
Second.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Kathy.
Now for our county manager report, Mr. Kuroji.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So all of our paving and chip seal operations are complete for the year. Our DOT staff will now be focused on catching up with work orders and blading as many roads as possible. I want to really thank our DOT staff for the great work that they did this summer. It was hot and they did a lot of paving and chip sealing this summer, so great job. Fremont County has the following job opportunities. The Department of Human Services, we have 2 caseworkers and a child support specialist. The Fremont County Sheriff's Department, we have detention deputy vacancies. The Department of Transportation, we have a light and heavy duty technician/mechanic. And in the clerk and recorder's office, we have a motor vehicle clerk. So for more information about employment opportunities with Fremont County, please go to our county website at fremontco.com, or you can call our HR department at 719-276-7411. And we are very excited to announce that we have a public health director. Ms. Paula Boozer, who is currently the Director of Support Services for the RE1 School District, will be joining us on August the 21st. She brings many, many years of public service and leadership to the county, and we feel that she will be a huge asset to moving our public health department forward.
Excellent.
So we're excited about that.
Yes, sir.
We are excited.
Thanks,
about
Tony.
Yeah, it's good news that we finally finally able to announce that.
that. Yes.
And so we're very happy to have her coming on board here very soon. And we've been looking forward to that for quite a while. Any comments or questions for the county manager?
No.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Moving on to our elected officials. Who would like to begin?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay.
Got to get it in there before she speaks up quick. First of all, I'm going to mention, for Clerk Grantham especially, the fire danger out there is getting very, very bad. Not that he's causing fires, but he gave me
As far as we know.
as far as we know, he gave me heck one day when I didn't mention it. But we are not under any fire restrictions at this moment. However, in the last couple of days, we've had a lot of lightning strikes for one, and the fuels are very volatile out there. The tall grass that we were blessed with rain from are now starting to dry out, and the fuels are getting very volatile again. So be very careful if you're out there playing and enjoying the outdoors, and don't drag any chains. We had one start on the road on Highway 50, even somebody dragging a chain on a trailer. So be very careful and enjoy it safely. The other thing I want to bring up is the Fremont County Fair starts Friday, and they've already had some events. The shooting sports have already happened, and I think those have wrapped up, I believe. But the fair officially starts Friday with the junior rodeo and a ribbon cutting, and it's all out at Pathfinder Park. So encourage everyone to get out there and see it. So there's a junior rodeo on Friday, a ranch rodeo on Saturday. There's music all day Sunday. There's a Michael Martin Murphy concert on Sunday as well. Tickets are being sold for that. Fremont County Fair and Rodeo.com. You can go there and learn all this information and a place to buy purchase tickets and everything too. The open fair, which folks that are not in 4-H or FFA have the ability to enter projects into the fair, whether you have squash, quilts, leathercraft, whatever you have, photography, that type of stuff. Those open, I believe, on Monday the 31st 5 to 7. You can take your open events out there and get in into the fair. And again, that's in the event center out there. Let's see, Family Day is the 4th. That's a great day to bring the kids out and enjoy all the bounce houses, and Slide Circus is going to be there. It's just going to be a great time. The kids always have fun with those. And then, of course, ending with Friday, there's the sale for the kids' 4-H livestock that they spent all year teaching to lead and show, and they get a chance to sell. So there's a buyer's barbecue. I think it starts at 2, the sale starts at 4, something like that. And then there's a CPRA rodeo following that. So it's going to be a bigger and better fair than we've had in quite some time in Fremont County. So I encourage everybody to get out and enjoy it, and give us ideas how we can make it better.
Okay, thank you, sir. Commissioner?
Yes, sir, thank you. I have a couple of things. First, Commissioner McFall and I just returned from Austin, Texas, and a National Association of Counties conference, and I'm going to talk about that one just a little bit more. But first, anyone who drives Highway 115 with any regularity knows all of the construction that's going on. From Austin, I spent most of Tuesday morning on the phone to Colorado, speaking with dispatch, speaking with the State Patrol, and speaking with the Colorado Department of Transportation. I have been receiving phone calls from people, and it actually happened to me once, driving northbound, and you look up and all the oncoming traffic is actually in your lane. So I don't know if that's happened to anyone here, but I had the conversation with all of the above that they're not doing a good job of marking the lanes. And when you can't tell what lane you're supposed to be in, you're going to end up in the wrong place. It happened again early Tuesday morning to a young woman who was driving up. She was almost hit head on, and I immediately heard from her. So when I finally was able to speak with the Department of Transportation, they told me, yours is the 3rd phone call we've had today. And I said, that's good, but you need to do a better job of taking care of our people. And so I'm happy to report when we came home from the airport yesterday, late afternoon, early evening, they have changed some of those signs. It's easier to tell now where you get into the lane you're supposed to be in. But I really want to let you know, even though that's not really our issue, we will deal with the issues that Fremont County residents bring to us, because we feel that it's our job to keep you all safe. So if you're having issues with that particular highway, I've got the numbers now. Give me a call, let me know, and we'll be happy to try to deal with that. So the other thing I did want to mention was conference. We attended National Association of Counties for the last, well, we were there 6 days, and it was a great conference. We had an opportunity to do a lot of networking. We meet with different steering committees that we belong to, and we were able to, each of us ran a resolution in our own steering committees this year. We were able to get that on the national policy for NACO, which means that the entire year now, they're going to be focusing on this list of resolutions as guidance for what counties need. And so in the Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee that I sit on, I was able to run a resolution for better financial support for the agriculture industry, because we can all see what's happening to ag, and it's not a really great thing. And so I was excited to be able to get that one through, again, the entire membership. And I'll let Commissioner McFall talk about his resolution as well.
Yeah, my resolution, I sit on the Public Land Steering Committee, and as you know, we have a lot of public lands, a little over 50% in Fremont County itself, but Colorado has over 50% as well. My resolution was to amend the 1099 rule. Right now, there's a rule that any work over $600 you have to issue a 1099 for. Doing fire mitigation, 1 acre of land fire mitigation easily costs $2,400 or more. So my resolution is to hopefully get the Congress, because it'll take an act in Congress, to amend the 1099 rule where there's either an exemption for fire mitigation or raise the level to $5,000. So that way counties, private individuals, state doesn't have to issue 1099s unless it's over that much. So got those passed through my steering committee, and another steering committee cross-claimed it, and they passed it in theirs too, and then it passed through the whole body. So it is in the works now, and hopefully NACO will push that to Congress, and we'll get something done with that.
Okay, excellent. I will tack on my usual diatribe that you'll probably be hearing from me from this point on through November. Don't forget that in November, there will be a measure on the ballot called Proposition HH, and please vote no. This is a sleight of hand from the Colorado legislature that basically will give you a penny, but they'll take $1. It's a scam, and to put it bluntly, it will say it's preying on the idea that our county property taxes are too high, and they are high. They went up considerably. And there's reasons for that, but what this proposition does is it basically says, well, we're going to give you back a couple pennies, but we're going to steal $1 out of your other pocket by taking away your TABOR refunds. So they're giving away nothing in order to gain a lot, which is basically the whole future of our of TABOR. So please vote no on HH, and I will continue to remind folks of that right on through that Tuesday in November. Anything else? Anything from you, sir? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With the election coming up, just make sure your voter registration is up to date. It is an odd year, so expect City of Canyon City, City of Florence to have candidates on the ballot along with your school districts. So just make sure everything's up to date, wherever you want it to be mailed. If you're going to be going out of town, make sure to contact my office or update your mailing address. Voting center will be open in October and leading up to November. So just make sure if you want to vote this time around, contact my office or come in and vote. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no further, we will move on to the next item on our agenda for citizens who wish to address the commissioners on a matter not scheduled on the agenda. Is there anyone here that is here to speak on something not on the agenda? Seeing no rush of people up to the microphone, we'll move on. There's no unfinished business. On to new business, which I think the lion's share of folks in the room are here to witness. Our service recognition resolution for Mr. Tony Adamic. Who would like to?
Pick me.
I'll do it.
Commissioner Bell, would you please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So first, I would like to just mention, we do have a couple of former Fremont County Commissioners sitting here with us this morning. So Ed Nord and Tim Payne, thank you both so much for being here. I know that you are here to help recognize Tony because you both had the opportunity to work with him for many years. We also have a couple of mayors and Mayor Pro Tem here in the room with us this morning. We have family members, we have most of our Department of Transportation here, and we're all here for the same reason, and that is to honor someone who's been a long-time resident of Fremont County, I think his entire life, and he has been a very long-time employee for Fremont County as well. So with that, I would like to read this resolution into the record, and we will make a motion, and then we will have Mr. Adamic come forward for a photo or two. All right.
And a speech.
And a speech, yes. He's got it written out and ready. All right. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado regretfully accepts the retirement of Mr. Tony Adamic as Fremont County Director of the Fremont County Department of Transportation. And whereas Tony Adamic has been a loyal and valued employee of Fremont County from June 1st, 1994 until July 29th of 2023, earning much respect and admiration for his extraordinary level of dedication and professionalism for the county. And whereas Tony Adamic has provided Fremont County with his expertise in fleet maintenance, roadway maintenance, land use insight, historical knowledge, excellent public service, patience during difficult situations, and the ability to endure hard times. And whereas Tony Adamic has freely and pleasantly shared and related regulatory, historical, and anecdotal information garnered over his 29 years of service to Fremont County officials, employees, and members of the public to ensure consistency and wisdom in decision-making and in the exercise of discretionary judgment for the betterment of citizens and their county government. And whereas Tony Adamic's accomplishments are many and include the following: instituting and collaborating with staff in various county offices in the rollout of the roadway maintenance program, elevating his department's capacities, efficiencies, and financial stability by centralizing districts under one budget, bringing the department into the next century through the use of GIS capabilities and new technologies, paying extreme attention to detail and mathematical intellect to accurately plan and budget for annual projects, and always being ready and willing to jump in at any moment to assist with all areas of his department and laboring alongside all department employees as a working director. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado hereby publicly recognizes and expresses its deep appreciation and that of the residents of Fremont County to Tony Adamick for nearly 3 decades of devoted service to Fremont County. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be read into the record of the Board of County Commissioners as a tribute to Tony Adamick's service, and that the official seal of Fremont County shall be affixed thereto and delivered to him. Done this 26th day of July 2023 at Canyon City, Colorado. And with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this service recognition resolution.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded.
Turn on your mic.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, a little bit. So Tony not only helped in his department, but he was willing to help with any other department too. I think the relationship we've had since I've been in office has been great. Anytime I needed some assistance or had a problem or somebody calling me with a road problem or something like that, Tony was always there and willing to step up and either educate me so I could educate them or take care of the problem. So good luck.
Anything further?
Just, yeah, another huge appreciation. I think the fact that we have so many people here this morning to congratulate you on your retirement says a lot about the relationships that you've been able to build. Tony has been an integral part of the Fremont County Mayor's Roundtable that was implemented quite a few years ago, and always brought his humor, his personality, and always a fun story or two. But he also brought serious business about roads, because we intersect with all of our communities, with all of our municipalities, with the towns, the cities, and Tony has always been a really great voice for the county in advocating for all of us together at the table and not just for the county. So I just want to say thank you, Tony. Everything you have done is deeply appreciated.
And ditto to all of that from me, sir. Haven't got to work with you nearly as long as my colleagues next to me, but much appreciated all the ability to call you and get your expertise and your understanding, help me understand what goes on out in the real world outside of this building, and how things operate with Road and Bridge and our Department of Transportation. So it's been a privilege in my short time here to be able to work with you. So thank you, sir. This is a item on our agenda, and it is available for our folks to speak to this item, and I would especially, if they wanted to, our former commissioners, if they wanted to address anything.
As they look at each other.
As they look at each other.
Turn that on there, Mike. Yeah.
In the wording of the resolution, I noticed you didn't capitalize the word patience. I recall and you did put a line in there about centralizing the road districts. I appreciate you doing that, because that was not an easy task. There were years before I ever took office that Department of Transportation tried to consolidate road districts, and it was not successful. They went back to 3 independent road districts. Then when I was commissioner, we decided to try again. And it was not an easy task. Tony probably remembers, as I well do, signs going up around District 3 that they're closing the Cotopaxi shop. And it's like, so we start suppressing all of the rumors. And the effort that Tony's leadership in making sure that every district was paid attention to And the program that they put into place to monitor, I mean, I was impressed just by the program that the miles and the maintenance statistics that were gathered, and that was easy to tell the citizens why some roads were getting more attention than others, because it was based on factual and use. Anyway, I congratulate Tony for his years of service, and it was been a pleasure for me to work with him. So, thanks, Tony.
I'll echo that, Tony. Thank you so much. I think the biggest thing is for us, he made our jobs easier. I remember when we paved Cedar Avenue, I got all kinds of phone calls thanking me for setting that up. And I said, I didn't have anything to do with that. That was all Tony Adamic. And so it was things like that just made our job easier. The budget-wise, it made it easier. And congratulations, Tony. Job well done.
Thank you, Commissioners. Appreciate that. I recognize some of those things even as you're talking from my experience over the last couple of years. And so patience is a, is a good word. And I appreciate you guys and what you have done. But Tony, thank you again. Much appreciated. Anything else?
I think Tony needs to get up here.
Oh yeah, I forgot his speech.
Thanks. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure working with everybody. Tony, you as a county manager and the past county managers made my job a lot easier. The ones that really have done it, them back there. They're the ones that make it go. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tone. We have a motion on the floor. There's no further discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you. Tony, would you join us up front here for a picture or two?
Talk about this, but we got that to present to you with the county civil service. She's ready to make the camera, so hold on, stay there, Jim, why don't you come join us real quick? Yeah, you can tell who the retired guys are. You can get back here and I'll hike your legs in here. That's it. And now it's all your turn. Come on up, guys. Everybody. Tony, come in here with these guys. Come on, guys. Yep. All of you.
Now the camera's for sure.
All guys. All guys. And Kelvin.
but he got his plaque.
Yeah, if you guys are ready to roll, thank you for being here. Gary's gone. We'll let these guys go. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda, the one that we added in is our service recognition resolution for John Rankin and Commissioner McCall.
All right, thanks, sir. I'm going to read this resolution. John Rankin and his wife are making plans or have already kind of done it, I guess, moving to Florida. So they are not here. We did have one of those plaques like we just gave Tony that was given to them yesterday and they left. But I still want to read this into the record and let everybody know how much we appreciate his service. And then maybe he's watching online with the other millions of people that watch us. So
You managed to sneak that in there every
I
single
do every
meeting.
time. Yeah. But if not, it'll be there for him to see, and I'll see if I can read it without stumbling through it. But anyway, whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado regretfully accept the retirement of Mr. John Rankin as Fremont County Deputy for Fremont County Sheriff's Department. And whereas John Rankin has been a loyal and valued employee of Fremont County from July 16, 1997 until July 21st, 2023, earning much respect and admiration for his extraordinary dedication and professionalism. And whereas John Rankin has provided Fremont County with his expertise in security and jail operations. And whereas John Rankin's accomplishments are many and include the following. Graduated from the Pikes Peak Regional Law Enforcement Academy in 1991, hired as a full-time deputy July 16, 1997, served as a detention deputy and sergeant, transportation sergeant, courthouse security sergeant, and commander. Selected as a Detention Deputy of the Year in 1999 and 2010. He was a member of the SWAT team for 22 years, to include serving as commander for a brief period of time. Served as a law enforcement firearms instructor for the pistol, patrol rifle, precision rifle, and shotgun, and also the first Fremont County Sheriff's Officer taser instructor. He won the Fremont County Sheriff's Office Top Gun Award in 2005. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, hereby publicly recognize and express its deep appreciation, and that the residents of Fremont County to John Rankin for more than 26 years of devoted service to Fremont County. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be read into the record of the Board of County Commissioners as a tribute to John Rankin's service, and that the official seal of Fremont County shall be affixed thereto and delivered to him, done this 26th day of July 2023. And with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this resolution for the service of John Rankin.
I second that with the note that we were able to get the plaque to John yesterday. We have his resolution here. It looks just like the one that we just gave Tony. We will be putting this in the mail for John simply because we were not here to sign off on it before they left, and it needed official signatures. So we will get that in the mail as well. And I would just like to say, Mr. Chair, John is going to be missed. Yeah. Again, he has been a very loyal, very steadfast employee for the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, and we've all had the opportunity to deal with him over the years. And his expertise, I mean, everything that we just talked about, his expertise, his loyalty, his professionalism, he was a great employee for Fremont County, and he will be deeply missed. Thank you.
Yeah, just real quick, I want to add too, that wasn't on that. His last position was there in the courthouse, and I'm on the courthouse security team where we deal with the state and the deputies and stuff that take care of the courthouse. And John is very aware of and pointed out and rectified vulnerabilities that we had in the courthouse, and always on the ready for if anything happened in that courthouse, because you just never know with the kind of trials that we have nowadays what kind of people are in there and what's going to happen. So really appreciate John on that and everything he's done prior to that. He's a great guy and he's going to be missed. Thanks.
Very much. Whenever you start talking about employees and what they mean to the county, you start looking at 20-plus years of service, that it's anymore, that's really tough to replace. And we certainly will miss John, and as we do Tony, for that very reason, all of that experience and expertise, and it will be sorely missed. I was just looking at the date when he came in, and look at that date, it doesn't seem like that many years ago, but here we are. I was thinking, Brenda, maybe you can help me out on this. It's probably crossing 4 different sheriff's administrations at least, back to 97.
To 97?
Yeah, 4 at least.
At least 4.
At least 4.
4. And so, I mean, that says something, the longevity of somebody, and especially in the sheriff's office, and crossing 4 different.
And one of them, and almost, well, 5 sheriffs, including Sheriff Martin.
True.
That's right.
That would be 5.
That's right.
Right.
So, that says a lot about him, and his longevity in the office, and so much appreciated there. Any further comments? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Now we're on to page 2. Thanks again for being here, guys.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, guys.
I guess I could have said that about Tony as well, all the commissioners he's seen in his
Yeah,
time.
quite a few, right?
A lot more than 5.
Sheriffs. I think he started under Sheriff Chief.
Wow.
Oh, my.
That would be 6.
Wow, okay. A bunch. A bunch. Item number 2, or technically number 3 now, on our agenda, the overmatch commitment for the Grandview Avenue Bridge. And here to speak on this, waiting patiently for us, our county engineer, Jay Bunderson. Jay, take her away.
Good morning, Jay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for hearing this. I put in front of you a spreadsheet of numbers about this, the Grandview Avenue Bridge replacement overmatch. We committed to 20% of the funding for the bridge reconstruction back in 2021, maybe earlier. I don't have all the records on that. And since the engineer's estimate has gone up, and I show some of those numbers now, and whatever the reasons, the CDOT wants a letter of commitment from the county committing to those extra funds. And because of the large amount, it'll have to be something from the board, from the chair. As you can see, the 20% match back in 2021 didn't seem as bad, I'm sure, $433,953. But since the engineer's estimate went up about $323,000, yeah, it's a 3, not an 8, and also the construction engineering went up $21,000. That's also just an estimate. The total of the previous match and the current overmatch would be about $873,000. And that is, like I said, dependent on the final engineering cost that they will present pretty soon to us, as well as the bid from the contractor. So our liaison from CDOT a couple weeks ago told me that we needed this overmatch letter soon. So that's why Tony got me on the agenda to get this overmatch letter done. But since we'd have to do another one when the bids come in, we don't have, he said just yesterday, we don't have to do this overmatch letter right now. We can wait until the advertisement and the bids come out to get the exact figure. We just do this commitment of funds later or after we get the final numbers. So that's what I want to present to you, maybe a pre-warning. We can do that when it's advertised. And also just the large amount of money as well. I knew you'd want to know about that sooner than later. The engineer's estimate came in late June, so it hasn't been too long that we all got the official dollar amount for the bridge estimate. So that's what I wanted to present, just the numbers there and a sheet you can refer to. The second page is just a draft of that overmatch letter with the same numbers on it, kind of from a template that CDOT sent me, just made up something that commits the county to the previous 20% match and then whatever the final overmatch amount comes out to.
Okay.
Any questions for me on that?
So on your spreadsheet, we're looking at the difference number there, the 344.
Yes,
Or
that's
something close to that.
basically, yes. The difference between what we thought back in early 22 would be our out-of-pocket, I guess, cost, and today's out-of-pocket, the way it looks. Yeah, $344,789 difference.
Okay. How soon are you looking at getting the rest of those bids in where we can dial that in?
I still have some work to do, relocating a gas line and a Black Hills Energy infrastructure before we can advertise. I think everything else is in place, the right-of-ways and the other clearances, the environmental clearance. So there's no real holdup to advertising except those two utilities. But that, I'm just not sure. We're kind of dependent on Atmos's schedule. They're boring an 8-inch sleeve underneath, 10 foot underneath the creek. So, you know, that's kind of a big job for them even. And I don't know the exact schedule. They haven't talked to me for a while. So it may be a month or so before they can even get that done.
Okay. But in the meantime, we'll just kind of twiddle our thumbs and wait until that's done, and then we can approve the letter, everything all at once.
There is another option or another item I wanted to mention. I did ask our county liaison from CDOT about supplemental funding and found out he hasn't gotten me back to me about that yet. But there is an option, possibility of requesting more funding to cover that extra overmatch. But we would have to go to the Select Highway Committee and it would delay the project. And, you know, I don't know how long that would take, probably several months, and push it into next year. But Don Skanga, the CDOT guy in Pueblo, he said that we would have a good chance because the project is shovel ready really now. It's actually pretty darn close to being ready. So I guess that's something to weigh as well.
Okay. Anything?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I would just say with an uncertain timeline, rather than tabling this to a definitive date, I would move to postpone this particular item indefinitely.
Okay. I would take it at least in our realm here in the county level, that postpone indefinitely has a very different meaning than it does up in the state legislature.
Absolutely, because it will come back.
Right, okay. Has been moved.
Thank you, second.
Okay, been moved and seconded to postpone.
Yeah,
I
right.
reel at the words postpone indefinitely. It's an old habit, I guess. So we'll postpone that and
Indefinitely.
until further notice.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yeah.
This is we've been working on this probably since before 2021, but the design took quite a while. We had to make agreements with landowners, adjacent landowners. It's been a long project underway, but it is one of the worst bridges in the county as well. So it is something that we need to get done. We have to do it. So we're gonna end up doing this regardless of where we get this money from, because it's one that needs to be done. We may look at the chance of trying to capitalize on some more grants, but I really hate to postpone this any longer than we have to. Once they get those services moved, if we can get this deal out for bid and get this thing going, the better.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
No further discussion, roll call.
Thanks, Jay.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall,
All right.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Thanks again, Jay. Next item on our agenda, item number 4, new item number 4, requesting a request for the issuance of a Colorado liquor retail license. A new license for a hotel and restaurant for Patty Snodgrass, doing business as Our Place on the River at 10281 Highway 50 in Howard. And here with us, I take it, representative is Patricia Snodgrass.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Thanks for
And
having us.
Please tell us what you got planned and what you're going to do.
What we have planned is to open the Howard Cafe. It used to be the Howard Cafe. Don't know if you're familiar. In addition to that, we're going to open a roadhouse that's kind of on the back side of the building. That's about 2,500 square feet. And we're going to provide good food and also just a place for the community and the locals and our friends to gather. That's what our goal is. A place where they can come and hang out and have coffee. They've done Bible studies there. They just love to hang out and drink coffee. And then in addition to that, we also have friends and ourselves who had ideas for the back of this building that was never used before. And the ideas came in that we would like a place to have wine and beer and possibly some alcohol, liquor, to watch the Broncos and the Avs and the Rockies, and just have a place to hang out and spend time together. That is our goal. It's a place for the community to come together and not have to drive back and forth from Salida, where they will possibly have alcohol, and drive all the way to Howard. So that's what we're hoping to do, just have a place for our friends and our families and to gather.
Okay. Okay. Any questions?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Could you please address the training of servers and what kind of certification they're going to have?
Yes. So these are our servers, and they have been certified. If you want to explain it, I don't really know how to.
Okay.
So this is a family event. This is our daughter, Michelle. Our other
morning.
daughter, Sarah, will be involved as well. This is our Michelle's partner, Dustin. Between the three of them, they've been in the industry for probably 2 decades. So they will be doing all the training. And they can fill you in on that if that's okay.
Yep, you bet.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So I actually have 15 years of experience in the industry, front of house. We both worked for a really successful large restaurant group in Denver called TAG, and I opened 4 of their locations as the lead bar trainer. So I've been what's called TIP certified, or Serve Safe, basically responsible alcohol service, for 15 years, as well as Dustin. I'll be in charge of front of house and staffing and all of that training.
And
All
your
right,
name
thank you.
again?
Michelle.
Michelle.
Last name, Stone.
Just,
That for the record.
yes, thank you. Okay, any further questions or?
The other question that I would have probably for you, Patty, is if you could address controlling where the alcohol will be and how it does not leave the licensed premises.
Exactly. So we did talk to Sergeant Troy a couple of times about this. It will be located only in the cafe. There is, and what we're going to call the Roadhouse will only be located in there. We do have a deck out the back, which did have a beer and wine license previously. And we are going to, the sheriff asked us if we would put a gate that would keep the people on the deck that will say no alcohol beyond this point. So beyond that, and having our bartenders very conscious of what's going on and keeping a really close eye on the patrons, I think that we'll be really well prepared to keep the alcohol where it belongs and to keep them from leaving without having too much.
Has that
Does
gate
that
been,
answer?
has that gate been installed yet?
No, it hasn't. But Mrs. Bell, we have so much work to do still, that the gate will be there by the time that we open for sure, for sure.
And if this license is approved today, do you have a time frame for when that would be?
Hopefully by Labor Day.
Okay,
Yep, that's what we're hoping.
okay, that's all from me for now, thank you.
Okay,
So I've got a question, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
So this gate, or, yeah, what else is around there? What kind of fence is around this, that this gate is gonna?
So are you familiar with the Rocky Top Campground?
Mhm.
Because that's right where it sits. So you know there's really no fencing or gating. We're right on Highway 50. We did also talk to the sheriff about that. If we want to add any areas outdoors, we understand we have to have that very well blocked off. As far as fencing, and we haven't provided any. I mean, we'll just have the gate. Does that make sense?
I can speak here.
Okay. This is my husband Lance.
Hi.
Hi, Lance.
Lance.
Contractor more than restaurateur. The entrances to the Cafe Roadhouse, right this minute, the physical building, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Doors. There's an exit onto the deck, which is what we're addressing. The deck is completely handrailed and enclosed with a down staircase. At the bottom of that staircase is where I've been asked by the sheriff to install the gate. That's about a 2-hour job for me, and I will take care of it. And I think we'd probably put a placard there that says no alcohol beyond this point.
Yes, of course.
So, okay, that makes sense, thank you. Then, I'm not sure this drawing makes sense then.
Well, that's probably my fault. I think I drew it.
Is it, which one is
Can
it?
I look?
You
Well,
wanna
the
see?
drawing is, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The drawing has more than just your deck
Oh, yeah,
encompassed.
that's, the sheriff got a brand new one.
So, yeah, there's a new drawing. So this was kind of this is our first shot at an alcohol license. We have 0 experience.
Okay.
And this is what we call pie in the sky. This was my first drawing. Over here, there's a stage, an event bar, and a deck that we thought because the river's here, we thought it would be just lovely to serve beer out here. The sheriff educated us fairly quickly. He didn't like the control of that environment. So it's been greatly reduced. So there is a newer drawing that you just don't have.
That's not good that we don't have that.
Do you have a copy of that with you?
I don't. We gave it to the sheriff on the spot in the cafe, but we can,
Well, it's around the deck, I mean, obviously.
The building.
Dwayne,
And the deck,
go to
and that's it.
page
We're-
39. I think there's a
We're
different
eliminating
map.
all of
Let me
this.
look.
If you go to 39, it could be the newer map.
we kind of did it right there in the
With the
cafe
sheriff.
Yeah,
with the
okay.
sheriff.
All right, it does have the new one.
We got
So
it.
that's
Yes.
my-
Yep.
We've got a long application here, 45 pages, just so
I know.
everybody's aware.
Understood.
Yeah, and so I got hung up on the
Yeah.
earlier page. This does have just the deck.
Okay.
Okay, and the guard railing then basically helps.
and then the stairs are Xed out on this drawing. But I take it the stairs would be going,
At the bottom of the stairs is where the gate is gonna be, correct?
That's correct. That was the sheriff's request. And I thought that was an easy solution. We'll take care of that.
Yeah, because that is not what the map shows. The map does show definitively that it stops at the top of the steps, so.
right.
Okay. But the request is to the bottom of the staircase.
Yes, yes, ma'am. We'll do
Okay.
that.
I think we're on
Right.
the same page.
Okay, any further questions on this for the applicant?
No.
Nope.
If not, we will go to, I suppose we will go to our clerk for the staff report.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
The clerk's office received the application in whole and was provided all the necessary documentation. The application was reviewed by the county attorney, the health department, and the sheriff's office, and each of them recommended approval for this.
Okay. Any questions for Clerk Grantham?
The only question I think that I would have is the sheriff's report has the question, posted if required, applies to new licensing, and no is checked. However, we have pictures that it actually was posted. So is that just a mistake?
We have proof of posting on 7/14 of 2023. So they sent us a picture that the thing
That
was posted.
should be checked, yes, correct?
Should be checked,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Anything for you?
No.
Okay. At this time, we do have some folks that want to speak on this agenda item, and so we will open it up to public comment here.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we may have you come back up in a bit for answering questions if we have any. Have a couple folks signed up. First one I have here is Jeannie Gordon, who is here to speak against. So, Ms. Gordon, please.
Also mention the letters that we did receive.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we allowed to ask a question of the owner?
You need to direct.
Ask us the
you?
question and then we'll get the answer.
Okay. My question is, how many staff members will they have serving the liquor? And are they going to be waiting tables, serving food and serving liquor? And, how are they going to watch who all's drinking the liquor? Having been a teenager once, and I'm sure all of you have, and know that there are young people that have friends who are of age to drink, and they slip them a drink and things like that. And I'm concerned about our young people in our little Howard. But I would also like to comment that it is right on the highway, and people are going to be drinking and then entering that highway. We've already got road rage cases. We've got people speeding up and down that highway at 80 miles an hour, passing on double yellow lines, passing on blind curves. We have tours stopping right in the middle of the road to take pictures of the rafters and the bighorn sheep. And we have bighorn sheep jumping out in front of us, and deer crossing, and elk. And I just feel like this highway is already dangerous enough without adding drunk driving to the mix. And, I just worry about that. And I don't have the statistics on how many people are killed every year in drunk driving accidents, but I know it's a lot. And not only are people killed, but there are also people that are disabled from these accidents. And they're really not accidents, they're crashes. And they're because irresponsible people get behind the wheel and their vehicle becomes a weapon. And there are people that may not have died, but they lose their lives through permanent disability, brain injuries, amputations, paralysis, all of these things that rob them of a normal life. And then there is also the element of domestic abuse, and people that get in, domestic disputes, and they're fueled by alcohol. They escalate. I have been a victim of that myself. Had a number of beatings from a man that I thought was wonderful, until when he drank, he turned into a monster. He beat me almost to death when I was 7 months pregnant with our daughter. She was stillborn, but was resuscitated, and she now suffers from kidney disease and heart disease because of deformed kidneys, a deformed heart valve. She was deaf. She now can hear through surgery. I finally, with help, was able to leave him and get divorced. I thought I was then safe, but I wasn't safe. He got drunk and showed up at my house with a sawed-off shotgun, which he shoved down my throat and pulled the hammer back and threatened to blow my head off. But by the grace of God, my 81-year-old neighbor saw him drive up, saw him get out of the car carrying a shotgun, and she called the police. And then she was courageous enough to get in the middle of it and come over and tell him that she had called the police and that he better go. She saved my life and probably the lives of my 2 children. This kind of thing happens every day. And I was fortunate, I still have my life. But how many people lose that battle? And, you know, you just don't really know a person until after you've married them or got into a relationship with them. Then you find out who they really are. And so I was able to escape all of that, and I feel very fortunate for that. But there are thousands of stories like mine, and those people aren't as lucky. And it doesn't just affect that victim, it affects the entire family. My son was injured in a car accident when he was 16.
Ms.
They were
Gordon?
not drinking.
I appreciate the story, and I appreciate what you have gone through. Could we relate this back to the application and specifically
The
what's
application
going on
is
here
an
with this
application
property?
for liquor. Liquor is as dangerous a drug as fentanyl, as crack, as everything else that's out there. And whole families are affected by it. And I feel that anyone that I'm here because I feel like it's my moral obligation to object to it. And I think everybody has a moral obligation to their communities, that if they have the power and the opportunity to prevent some of these tragedies, it's your obligation to do it. And if you don't do it and you let it happen, you're just as guilty as that drunk that weaved over into the wrong lane and took out a whole family. You're just as guilty as the enraged spouse who pulled the trigger. Of the children that are starving and living under a bridge because the paycheck never made it home from the bar. And so.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Janice Yalch. If you'd like to go ahead.
Hi,
Good morning.
Morning.
I live in Howard, and I appreciate the fact that some people would like to reopen the restaurant for a place to hang out. We used to hang out with coffee and iced tea, and there was no hard liquor involved. And every 39 minutes, somebody in the U.S. dies from an alcohol-related incident. And that's 31% of all traffic fatalities are alcohol-related. And Colorado had 632 fatalities in 2022, and 221 were from alcohol-related incidents. And that makes Colorado a little bit higher on our incidence of 35%. And the CDC says that drunk driving kills more people per capita than guns. And a person doesn't have to be drunk, which is defined as 0.08 blood alcohol content, in order to have a fatal accident. In 2021, 2,266 people out of the over 13,000 who were killed in alcohol-related accidents were killed by a driver that had a blood alcohol of 0.07 or less. And so just one glass of wine, one can of beer, one shot of vodka can put you in that range. A second drink can put you over the limit for driving. Of course, there are different factors that make your blood alcohol go up or down. But a blood alcohol of 0.05 to 0.09 in a driver, they're 11 times more likely to have an accident than a sober person. And they say that experts say, I got this off the internet, that have a very low blood alcohol of 0.02, that can alter your mood, it can alter your visual function, and your ability to perform 2 tasks at one time. Now, I was unable to locate statistics that include the number of accidents that do not have fatal injuries, but are alcohol-related for 2022. This requested license is for a hotel and restaurant meaning that they can sell any and all liquors of 6% beer, malt liquors, wines, hard liquor, including those that are over 21% alcohol. And this building is located right on Highway 50, which is a narrow 2-lane, very curvy road. And people in Howard wouldn't be there. It would attract people from Swissvale or Coaldale, Cotopaxi, all up and down the highway. There are no taxi cabs in Howard, so I mean, they couldn't call a cab if they were inebriated. We don't have 24/7 sheriff's coverage. We don't have 24/7 state patrol coverage there either. And so there'd be also the people who commute daily going up and down the highway between Canyon City and Salida. And, Howard had 2 fatalities in the last 12 months in just our little 3-mile stretch that we have there. Howard's only 3 miles long. And if we had a bar in town, that, according to statistics, we would have 1 more death within 12 months that would be alcohol-related. And, they said they want a stage and there'd be a dance floor and there would be visitation. And whenever you're sitting around visiting with people, you have a tendency to drink a little bit more than what you ordinarily would. And then they could act fully cognitive when they get in their vehicle, but they wouldn't necessarily be that. A week ago, Channel 11 had an article on Colorado highways here, and I got this off of the internet on their web space. Law enforcement in Colorado is concerned about a dangerous increase in road rage. Colorado State Patrol says anyone driving aggressively usually leads to road rage, and their STAR CSP program is for aggressive drivers and suspected drunk drivers. And in 2022, there was over 31,000 cases of road rage, almost 32. And the top 5 counties with speeding citations, Fremont was number 5. And on the top 5 roadways with the most speeding charges and the highest intervals, Highway 50 was number 3. And that followed behind the 2 interstate highways, I-25 and I-70. So it says the department combines road rage with aggressive drivers and suspected drunk drivers. Most of these may have happened on I-70 and I-25 interstates with lots of daily traffic, but Highway 50 had over 1,349. Troopers say road rage incidents doesn't just impact the drivers, it impacts everyone. And research shows a significant relationship between alcohol and both the perpetration and victimization of road rage. Alcohol can alter the activity of the prefrontal cortex, which is linked to impulse control, and this increases the risk of rash behavior and reactive aggression. People who experience road rage are more likely to misuse drugs or alcohol. And anyone who drives the stretch of highway there on Highway 50 is frequently passed. I almost had somebody clip me whenever they were going around me today on a double yellow line coming down the canyon here. And another car was coming around the curve, and they quickly tried to get over into my lane, and they just about knocked me into the mountain. And you only have a mountain on one side and a river on the other side. And so you have a lot of angry drivers, a lot of drivers who are in a big hurry. And so, I never objected to the Sugar Bush having a liquor store because you can buy a bottle and take it home. I didn't object to the Big Red Barn, the event center. They have bars there, but they bus everybody in so that there is no chance that the people who may have had too much would be out on the highway. And so I do volunteer for the Howard Fire Department, and we peel a lot of people off the highway, and we really don't need to peel anybody else off the highway. And so I'm asking you to deny this license, and in doing so, you may save lives and many, many injuries, and even one life would be worth the denial of the license. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just to make note, we did also receive a couple of letters, which I believe you all brought these as well.
They could not attend.
Thank you. And we've all three read this, both of these, and so thank you for bringing those. Any further comments from those in attendance that would like to speak on this matter? Okay. Are there any questions, further questions from?
No, I'd like Patty to come up and address her questions, though, Mrs. Gordon's questions.
And Ms. Stone as well, because I think when it comes to the tips training and stuff
Yeah.
on some of these questions.
Yes.
The first question she had was the number of staff and what all they were going to be doing and who's going to be watching, who's drinking.
Right. So, Judy and Janice, it sounds like you've both been in our space before, so you probably know and remember that it's relatively small. It's very manageable. The cafe area that you may remember is going to be open in the morning. That holds maybe 24, 26 people at the most. It's going to be coffee and tea service in the morning with breakfast, unless we decide to offer brunch in the future. That room is easily visible to one person at all times. When we do open the bar in the afternoon and evening, that space is going to hold 30 to 40 people at the most. I will be, especially in the beginning, the only person serving alcohol. And I've had, like I said, 10 years of experience on top of the legalization of cannabis, which was an entire different level of having to monitor people and what else they were consuming that day. I feel really confident in my abilities. I am more passionate about pairing food with drinks. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. We're going to have lots of other options.
The time.
What
right.
other questions? Right.
Oh, yeah.
So we're also not intending to be a late night bar. It's not going to be drunken and rowdy. We're on the same site as a motel that has quiet hours that we have to respect. I was also going to mention that I'm anticipating a large percentage of our crowd and our clients to be staying on site, so there will be no driving. There's also Pleasant Valley RV Park across the river, walking distance. So obviously we want to see the locals. We expect to have that wonderful community, but there's just not that much space to have an entire crowd that's out of control and unmanageable.
And as far as, I mean, it's still part of TIPS training to recognize those that should no longer be served,
Right.
correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And,
Yes.
and prevent over-service.
Yes.
Right, okay.
What are your proposed hours of operation and days?
Right now, we're thinking during the week we'll be open at probably 8 a.m. for the cafe side. We'll take a break in the afternoon and then open for the evening in the bar and restaurant. We won't be open probably past 8:30 or 9 during the week, 10 at the very latest on the weekends. And like I said, those quiet hours do commence, so we'll have everybody off-site and safely home.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing from me?
Okay,
No.
okay. Thank you both,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Okay. Any further discussion? Or motions?
No, I'll make a motion. I have a comment first, then I'll make a motion. I appreciate you ladies being here, and I appreciate you guys being here. And then we appreciate the letters that we received also, so thank them for us. We do have in the packet also 30 or so signatures of folks that are in favor of this happening.
And I would just mention, Commissioner, these are from Mr. Elliott and, can't read that for sure, Mr. Pott?
Is that correct?
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
having trouble reading that too.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think we all respect your worry of folks drinking and driving. For an example, Chili's is right on Highway 50, and people stop there and have a drink and a burger and then go home. I don't know what's going to happen up there. I wouldn't wish anybody any negative whatsoever. And it is illegal to drink and drive, period, no matter where you get the alcohol from. So I hope that doesn't become a problem, and I really understand your worries about that, and I appreciate that a lot. But with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the new license, hotel and restaurant for Patty Snodgrass doing business as Our Place on the River at 10281 Highway 50 in Howard, Colorado. I would also like to make sure that there's a contingency on the gate that's going in there, and then this is up on receiving the restaurant license, which you've applied for, correct?
So with the contingent?
Of the gate and the restaurant license.
Okay.
I'll second that. Also, just with a note, thank you both for being here and for speaking up. And Ms. Gordon, I just would like to say for the record, we're glad that you're still here. So, thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll add on, there's probably nobody in this room that hasn't been affected directly or indirectly by what you described. Whether it be alcohol behind the wheel or other substances being behind the wheel and in the house as well. At some level, all of us have been affected directly or indirectly by that, and nobody wishes it upon anyone else. From my perspective here, we're tasked with putting the tools in place to make sure that those who apply for such things have the history of being able to do that have the responsibility in their own past by others' reputation or by others giving them that credibility that they can do this task, that are those that can train, that are familiar with the what we call TIPS training, and can train others to make sure to recognize that in others, that they're done. You know, sometimes that happens. It's not as typical with a restaurant license necessarily as it is in, say, just a regular bar license. But I think we're tasked with making sure that the applicants have those tools in place to be able to run a responsible business and be able to recognize those that have been served too much, or maybe those that came in already having been served, and recognizing those things. None of these things are perfect, but we have to be able to recognize those that have the intent to do the best they can to make sure that none of these things happen because of their establishment. And I would agree with my fellow commissioners in the motion and the second, and as far as moving forward with this, because I think from our application and from testimony and what we heard, that I think we're going to be approving a license for a responsible group of people, and I hope they only prove me right. And so I will leave it at that. If there's any further comments, then roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good
And
luck.
thank you all. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you all for being here.
Real quick question.
Please, come on
On
forward.
the gate, I'll be building it. It sounds like there's two potential places to locate the gate.
Top
The
and bottom.
sheriff, I think, mentioned to me the bottom of the stairs on the deck. Doesn't seem the safest to me as a contractor. This has nothing to do with it.
Doesn't make sense to me
Can't
either.
I do it at the
Put it
top
at
of
the
the,
top.
top of
Yeah.
the stairs?
Put it at the top, please.
That's all I
Yes,
needed to know.
perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And then one more thing, so,
Come on
You
up
have
to the
come up
mic,
to the mic.
Microphone.
please.
not my contingent upon the gate and the food service, but does that mean that we have to wait until that's all done before we get the license comes through?
Yes.
Okay, so he'll need to do the gate right away?
Well, right. Yep.
Okay, and then the food service is over with Amy? Okay.
Correct.
Okay. All
And
right.
Amy and we have in the packet, Amy shows that you've applied for and
Right,
working on that.
we're working on it.
Yep.
Okay, all right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Next item on our agenda, item number 5, is a request for the issuance of a malt, venison, spirituous liquor special events permit for Nature's Educators for an event at 1194 County Road 110 in Florence for the dates July 30 and August
Not
26th from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. this year. With us is Mr. Chris McLaughlin.
Hey.
Please
Good morning.
Good
tell
morning.
us what you got going on.
We have a couple events going on. Both are opportunities to raise some funds for Nature's Educators, which does work for raptor rescue primarily in the area, but just also an opportunity for people to gather. We're a pretty small, or intentionally small, hot springs. We keep everything real quiet and chill. That's been our vibe since 1985, and looking to keep it the same with this. So just applying for two special event licenses.
Okay.
Yes, I have my typical standard questions for
Okay.
you. If you
Yeah.
would discuss, again, the training of your servers. How will you know you're not serving anyone under the age of 21?
Uh-huh.
And how you will be controlling the flow of alcohol around your premises.
Yeah. So Nature's Educators, I don't know if you know them, they also own the Patio Pub, which is a bar in Florence. So not only will they be overseeing that, and they are also tips trained, the bartenders are also bartenders at a bar called ESP in Denver. So everybody's certified and trained, and it will be overseen by Nature's Educators, who are also bar owners in the area. And then the entire area it's all mounded in. We have like 12-foot mounds and fences. And then there's one area that's open that we're going to put in a temporary fence just for the event. I think we submitted a mock-up of what that will look like.
And the underage drinking? Will you be using armbands?
Oh, yeah,
How are you?
yep, absolutely, yeah. So we'll be checking IDs and then doing armbands.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Okay. Anything?
Nothing.
Okay. Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The clerk's office has received the application and provided all necessary documentation. The application was reviewed by the county attorney, public health, and the sheriff's office, and they all recommend approval.
Okay. Any questions on the staff report?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Liquor licensing investigation report shows 45-day requirement date met, no is checked, which requires a waiver by the board.
So, yes and no. It was originally that way, and we got word late yesterday because we had actually put the wrong address on the application. So the sheriff's office went to the wrong spot and said no to that
They
spot.
went to Nature's Educators.
And so when we told them, please hurry up and get the right address, they actually responded to us late yesterday, like I said, and they actually approved where it's going to be going.
Okay, so that 45-day requirement then?
I don't have it in my report that it requires a waiver, but I'll defer to County Attorney Jackson on that one.
Requires.
Page 7 of the application shows 45-day requirement date met, no is checked, and after that it says no requires waiver by the board. So I just need to know if we choose to approve this, if it actually does require a waiver. That needs to be part of the motion.
Locally, we say that the application has to be submitted 45 days in advance, just to give enough time to process the application. Doesn't hurt to waive that. I don't believe there's a penalty on a special events license for a late submittal. It can be denied, but there isn't a financial penalty.
Okay, thank you.
And what I will probably say on that one too is a clerical error on our part, sending the sheriff's office to the wrong spot. So I would absolutely recommend that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Just do the waiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's all for me.
Excellent. This is an opportunity for those who may be in the audience to speak for or against or about even this matter. So please come to the mic we'll need you to fill out
I
a
didn't fill
paper.
anything out.
You can afterwards.
Okay.
Give it to the clerk. So, in
Kathy
addition-
Madonna, 504 Brookway in Florence. I just needed a clarification as to why this is coming to the county and not to the city of Florence, because usually they come to our city council meetings. So is there a division of, are they in the
Desert
city
Reef
and
is in the
out?
county.
Yeah,
What's
does-
that?
The location of this is out in the county on County Road.
It is out in the
Yeah,
county.
on, just off of
Yeah.
It's on County Road 110.
110, off of 120.
Okay, because they have come to the city for approval too.
Probably not at this location, I'm guessing.
They've probably had it at
Correct.
their location.
This is a different location?
Yeah.
And the county has a special review use permit on the
Okay.
premises as well.
Okay, because I couldn't, I'm sorry, Mr. Laughlin, I couldn't hear everything he was saying. So
No
this
problem.
is different from the nature educated.
Correct.
Correct.
Gotcha.
It's not at their property, it's at Desert
Desert
Reef
Reef.
property.
At where?
Desert Reef.
Desert Reef. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, how about a
I have a motion.
motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve this malt, Venice, and spirituous liquor special events permit for Nature's Educators for the event at 1194 County Road 110 in Florence, Colorado, for the dates of July 30th and August 26th from 4 to 10 p.m. This motion does include the waiver of the late application requirement.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grant.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right,
Okay.
good luck with your events.
Yes, thank you, sir. Last but not least, wake up over there.
Yes. That's all right, she could do this in her sleep by now.
A request for the issuance of a malt, Venice, and spirituous liquor special events permit for Fremont Adventure Recreation for an event at 44895 Highway 50 West, or is that West Highway 50 West on our agenda? Canyon City on the following date, September 16, from 5 to 10 p.m. Ashley Sack, take her away.
Hi, Ashley.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. So this is our 4th year of the event. We've moved it back to the Royal Gorge Dinosaur Experience. Last year we had it at the bridge. Each year we enjoy welcoming our community to a gala event, and it is black tie. I know, nobody likes it. We like it. It's a fancy event. It's meant to celebrate our community. It's different than I think any other event that happens throughout the year. So we really look forward to it. To address concerns that have been brought up today, we give free drinks to all DDs, so they get free soda and kind of mocktails all night long. We have a taxi service that runs throughout the evening that will take folks back down into Canyon City. We hire them, and we've done this ever since the Prohibition Party, if you all remember that. Really effective, gets folks home in a jiffy without, they don't even have to pay. We just pay for it. We're sponsored by Enchanted Planner, one of our coordinators. We also, all of our servers are tips trained. We use all of local bartenders who work within the community at various establishments, so they're well-versed, as the other lady talked about, well-versed in the dangers of over-serving, recognizing when that's happening, making sure they have a DD or someone to get them home safely. And it's not that kind of event. It's not the kind of event where people are having 6, 7, 8, 9 drinks and then we're sending them home. It's meant to be an elegant affair. It's a fundraiser for our organization, so we're very conscientious of making sure that we are making money at the expense of safety. We mitigate risk on an event basis. We run everything from mountain bike events, running events, to this event. So we are very careful to safeguard our event attendees, whether they're bombing down a mountain bike trail or they're attending a gala event. So safety always our first concern, and we look forward to having it again this year.
Excellent. Thank you. Anything?
Comment?
Yes.
I would simply say we have seen you here many times before, and you probably could do this in your sleep. We appreciate you coming back again and going through the process. I've had the opportunity to attend this. This is the We Are All Made of Stars event, correct?
Yeah.
Still billed the same?
Yep.
And you're exactly right. It's a very classy, very elegant evening, and we just appreciate everything that you do to keep Fremont County folks safe.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Clerk Grantham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Clerk's office has received the application and provided all necessary documentation, is reviewed by the county attorney, health department, and sheriff's office, and we all recommend approval.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody in the audience that wishes to speak on, about, for, against, around, in this event? Okay. If there is nothing else and nobody has anything left,
I think we're gonna have to wait on Commissioner Bell here for a second, but we'll be good. I've got a motion for you, Mr. Chair, please. I do appreciate the consistency with this too. I mean, the area is fenced off, we know that, and the way you guys handle it, so appreciate that. With that, Mr. Chair, I do move approval of the malt, venison, spirituous liquor events permit for Fremont Adventure Recreation for an event at 44895 Highway 50, Canyon City. That is at the Dinosaur Experience on September 16th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. 2023.
Second.
well done.
Did it.
And I will note, just Commissioner Bell noted that you probably do this in your sleep, but the fact that she didn't have to ask about her typical questions is testament to that. So thank you for what you do for not just this event, but many other things around the county. So.
And the attention that you pay to detail, because it does make a difference for us.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And being president of our tourism council as well.
Yes.
With that, roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks,
All
Ashley.
right,
All
get
in,
your
all done.
boxes ready.
Can't do
All
it.
right. There being no further business to come before us, we are adjourned.